Sorry about that. Hi, and welcome to Something for the Weekend, brought to you as always by Together 2012. This is actually our last live stream before the holidays. We will be back with a live recording from 12 to 1 on Thursday, the 13th of January. But we've got all of the usual things for you today and a few little bits extra. But first, some proper introductions and some audio descriptions. So I'm Ju Gosling, also known as Ju90. I'm Artistic Director of Together 2012. And with me in my East London studio, where I've been locked down since March 2020, is our chair, the artist and activist, Julie Newman. So we're going to come back to us with some audio description in a moment, but first to the other end of our long virtual wheeled sofa, all the way to the West Midlands, for some introductions and audio description. I understand there's a little bit of interference coming through. I'm sorry about that. Not 100% sure what we can do about it because the internet is having a lot of problems since Amazon crashed on Tuesday. But please keep letting us know if that improves. Emily, thank you. Over to the West Midlands.
Hello, and I'm Tracy Surgeoner, and here we are in the West Midlands in our studio. Happy to report that it's not snowing this week, which is good. Behind us we have our red velvet curtains, and today I have got my long, very long blonde hair put up into what are called space buns on your head. And that means it's a ponytail either side that's then been plaited and it's just wrapped around, and it looks, I quite like it. My fringe is very long, so that's decided to turn into a set of curtains either side of my face. I've got pale skin, and today I'm wearing a green hooded jumper with a very big square print on the front, and it's got a white background with a lady, I think she's got a space bun as well, actually. A lady with quite a lot of tattoos with her hands over her eyes and some words in the corner saying blah, blah, blah. And to go with that, I'm wearing some camouflage trousers. And do you want to know what I'm dressed up to do yet or later? I'm dressed up to go out, to stay in, to party, because we're having our end of show party this evening, and I'm raring to go. Robin.
Well, she's stolen all the thunder. Good job she said space buns, because I was going to call them something else, but there you go. So I am also in front of our lovely red velvet curtains. I have artistic grey-white hair today with dark rimmed glasses in front of blue eyes. Again, I'm wearing my designer stubble this week as an artist. In terms of clothing, I am wearing, underneath I've got a red long-sleeved shirt because it might not be snowing, but it's still pretty nippy. And over that I am wearing a round neck black t-shirt, but on the picture, on the front, it's got a big picture. It says having a rockin', and then there is a gentleman wearing a red suit with a white beard and a white hood and playing the guitar. And I'm not showing the word underneath because I'd like you to enjoy having a whatever rocking you would like to do over the next few weeks.
Thank you, Robin. And now we're back on the London mics. Do let us know how the sound is out there on YouTube. So I'm Ju Gosling. I'm wearing a Pound Shop Christmas red trilby. I've got green eyes behind black plastic glasses and covered in gold eyeshadow for the occasion. I've got silver coloured jewellery apart from around my neck, where I've got a red glass necklace that's from Italy, but it looks a little bit like a gift tag, I think. But I'm all very seasonal. And then I've got a green t-shirt over my pale olive skin with a logo on it saying Happy Holidays and lots of actually very Americanized looking people on it. Behind us, you can see a little bit of our Together 2012 graffiti banner, and there's also our teddy bear Annabelle dressed up in ballet outfit, hoping for the last time to be able to wear a medal as a result of our Clockwork Paralympics, which are coming up halfway through the show. There's also a sort of fainting looking paper snowman and a rainbow coloured Christmas tree decoration. Julie, who are you? What do you look like? And of course, we are also dressed up to go out to stay into party. And as Robin didn't take advantage of the opportunity, we shall say it's our end of festival party tonight from 7 o'clock. Everybody's invited. It's free and it's online. So no need to worry about breaking any rules with Together 2012. And we'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But next, Julie.
Thank you. I'm Julie Newman. I'm the chair of Together 2012. Robin, I just have to take the opportunity to say you're a rockin' Robin. I didn't like to interrupt your stream of
Twiddly dee. Twiddly twiddly.
Actually, I always remember that song in Gremlins when you've got all the sort of gremlins coming along and then they've got the Rocking Robin tune in the background. But it's true, it's our Rocking Robin.
I am wearing a big smile currently because I also am really looking forward to the party tonight. I do love a good party, especially when I don't have to go out and travel, and especially where the dogs are going to be safe and sound, which they will be, of course. Today I'm wearing a gold, sort of glittery strange little hat, actually. It's a sort of like a fun hat. It's not a serious hat.
It's a gold sequined trilby, I think.
There you go. And draped casually over each shoulder, I have gold and silver streaked hair. I'm wearing dark rimmed glasses. Today, I'm wearing oopsie-daisy, which way am I going? I'm wearing a white T-shirt. I'm wearing a white T-shirt into my mic.
No, it needs to be upright.
Okay. I have great stage management to the side. I'm trying to show everybody my Joyeuse Noël, which is underneath a little bit of holly. And with it, thank you very much, Ju. Holly with a berry. I'm loving having the mic at the moment, so clearly I'm having a good time too.
Thank you for that, Julie. I'm going to come back to Robin for some more details of tonight's event before we go any further.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, so tonight I will be rocking out. We have our end of Disability History Month festival gig party, whatever we want to call it. We're featuring myself and then 5 other artists, all of whom I've interviewed over the last probably 9 months, I think, probably remembering the scope. We have Remy Fox Novak, we have Ang Harrod, we have Sandstone Silver, we have Miss Dennis Queen, and we have El Shant. Each artist will be performing 2 or 3 songs, depending on how long they are, to fill the hour, and who knows what might happen afterwards.
Yes, indeed, but that will all be offline. So that's our end of festival party tonight from 7 o'clock. If you don't want to go through the booking system, which you can find on our website, www.together2012.org.uk, then you can just go to the Disability History Month Festival webpage on our website and you can see it streamed live from the top of the page. Or you can simply, go to YouTube and search for Together 2012 CIC and look for our live stream. But the easiest thing to do is go to www.together2012.org.uk, click on the main festival link, and then you'll also be able to see all of the exhibitions and event recordings that still remain for you to enjoy over the holiday period. And we're going to be talking more about that in the second half of the show in the holidays ahead, where we'll be recommending things you can do for free online or offline over the holiday period. But next, we're going to move on and have a look at some poems which this week are on the festive theme of decorations, because it's a holiday period for all sorts of communities. And of course, all of us will be taking the bank holiday off and possibly the week in between. So, Robin, would you like to share the first poem for us, please?
I will. And this one is from one of our long-standing contributors. This is from Glory Sengo. It's simply called Decorations. You hang up decorations on the Christmas tree. Also, you hang up Christmas bells, sleigh bells, and you go and sit down and watch the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer movie. And then you might have Christmas dinner.
Thank you for that, Gloria. I think that really sums it up. Julie, I think you have one from our club's programme leader, Alison Marchant. So this is the last week of our clubs. The Pop-Up Poetry Club usually takes place on a Wednesday morning from 10:30 to 12. We phone you, add you to the group call and pay for the costs. If you'd like to join the Pop-Up Poetry Club, it returns on Wednesday, the 5th of January. Just drop us a line to info@together2012.org.uk or just look for the details on our website under the 2021 programme. The theme for the new year when we come back on the 5th is, unsurprisingly, New Year. So, Julie, let's have Alison, who leads our club's poem.
Thank you, Ju. This is called Chandelier by Alison Marchant. There's a chandelier I've liked to decorate over the years. I've added little ribbons, tinsel, baubles, sparkles and sequins, a round gold coin, chocolate money, a paper rose, a tiny mirror reflecting morning light, a pink-eyed sugar mouse, a marble, a star, the aroma of lavender and cinnamon, a kiss to the air under the mistletoe.
Oh, that sounds absolutely beautiful, Alison. I wish I could see it. I bet you wish you could see it because, like Julie, you've not actually had a great deal of access to your home since lockdown started, but that sounds absolutely lovely. Tracy, what have you got for us?
I've got one by Dawn Barber, A Musical Christmas. Hello, Christmas time. You have come round quick again. All the decorations, glitter balls. Sorry, start that one again. Hello, Christmas time. You have come round quick again. All the decorations, glitter balls shining, tinsel all around, music and happy sounds. Rich food that goes down nicely, presents wrapped up. Let's all pull a cracker and have a really nice time and let our hair down at Christmas time. Ho, ho, ho.
Thank you very much, Dawn and Tracy. This one is by Pizer Malik Neve and it's called Self-Decorations and Home. From childhood till now, there is white on my eyebrow. Everywhere grey is my hair, decorating my head, looking fair. Putting on the chain and colourful pendant, matching the dress all of a sudden. Decorating yourself from head to toe. Decorating yourself with a smile, with shiny ribbons and bow. Makes you feel good and high, making you look new all through, to feel happy and discard all the blue. 4 o'clock is already dark. Carefully watch my steps leaving the park, crossing the roads to get home, feeling jolly although on my own. As I pass the quiet streets and houses, I look at their brightly lighted windows, full of Christmas decorations and throws. Decorating home gives comfort and happiness, feeling the fun, not just for Christmas. And thank you for that, Pizer. So I think now, Tracy, you have one more poem for us?
I do have one by Ellen Goody and it's entitled Decorations. Tinsel, tinsel all around, that time has come again. The time for Christmas baubles on the Christmas tree, Christmas lights with a fairy on the top.
Oh, thank you for that. I really like that, Ellen. And Julie, I think finally we have yours.
Yes, indeedy. Thank you very much. Mine's called Decorations Deja Vu. Leaves have fallen, the branches bare, tree trunks are black, standing tall. The wind, once still, starts to build. Light is lost from the skies. Clouds are dark and the storm is coming from the west, threatening sea and land. Overnight the tempest rages, catching all in its relentless path. Rain falling in a deluge, surging, building rivers, swelling, gathering force, pushing forward, flooding without pause. Then night passes, as does the storm. The landscape has changed. Sun reflects on water extended into fields. The day brightens. A gentle, shy sun pushes through the clouds. As the miles pass away from the sparkling lakes, the country is no longer wet, but sharp, cold frost has fallen. Snow covers the ground, and branches are reshaped. The stark, monochrome trees and hedges against the whiteness of the landscape. A mist sits heavily in the woods, transforming the winter world into a wonderland. Sharp edges softened and merged into a strange new country. The shapes are there, just different, fuller. Overnight the magician came and sculpted the fields and hedges, giving them soft, rounder depths. The dark relics of autumn painted with a giant brush, now white and catching the sunlight in little flashes. Fairy dust has been scattered, and snow sitting heavy on the boughs sparkles while the sun climbs higher. The world is strangely quiet, only the occasional caw of a solitary crow calling for its mates as the day lightens. Gradually the creatures will come, the sun warming the bitterly cold day. The pureness of the driven snow will become daubed with the marks of birds and animals, leaving their prints like scratchings. Soft drifts and banks will harden overnight, frost creating patterns on the ice. Rhymes of ferns shape where bracken is only a memory of autumn past. Thick crystals hanging on branches, icicles and frost giving form to the bitter cold. The world has changed. Each year the transformation comes. For a short time, when all is quiet, magic happens. The familiar shapes become reformed. Though harsh, this beauty is a gift, to show that nothing is permanent. The passing seasons with a landscape each of their own evidence the changes wrought by nature. The winter cloaking of snow and ice decorate the world around the shortest day, the longest night, giving pause to rest before the awakening.
Thank you so much, Julie. That was beautiful. And yes, I also liked the idea that all things pass, and we will be in easier times. They're just not here yet. And in the meantime, we have the amazing ability to connect online. So I think now it's the time when traditionally we turn and look to the art club and ask Robin to audio describe the still life image unseen. The art club meets twice a week. We're going to look at their still life work first, and that takes place every Friday. So tomorrow is the last session. It's from 11 to 12. Alison or Kate, who's our youth development worker, will create an image and share it on Zoom, but they can also share that image by WhatsApp, email, text, whatever is most convenient and accessible. We also put the image up on our highlights and links page by about 4 o'clock this afternoon, Thursday. So if you'd like to join in from home, go to our website, www.together2012.org.uk, go to the Together 2012 TV menu, and you will find something for the weekend, highlights and links, where you can also find copies of all the poems you've just heard and the artwork you're about to see. And of course, our links to our online recommendations. So, Robin, are you ready?
I like this image. So it's a white background, just to keep it nice and plain. And then we have five vessels. In the left-hand side is a white lidded glass jar with a kind of greyish silhouette of trees and a landscape. There's a very small clear bottle in front of that. Behind and to the right of that is a blue jug with a white handle and a red rim with pouring spout. Slightly in front of that is a small vase, again with a small picture of a flower or a couple of flowers on the front. And then behind that, I think I would describe it as a clear glass I'm kind of very old style medicine bottle or measuring bottle. And then sticking out of both the measuring bottle and the blue jug are three very sleek feathers in kind of browns and shading across almost to bronze.
Lovely. Thank you very much indeed, Robin. So I'm just going to show us some of the pictures that were produced in the club last Friday. And this first one is from Cheryl McClellan. And Cheryl has used pastels or pencils and really focused in on the design of the sort of pottery jar cum bars at the front. That's beautiful. Thank you, Cheryl. And then this is a painting by Crystal Peasy, and Crystal's focused very much on the tall shapes and the feather shapes. So thank you for that, Crystal. Then this is by Dwayne Bryan, and Dwayne has focused in on the blue jug and the brown feathers. And again, I think it's not the best zoom shot in the world, but I think that one is actually in pastels. Thank you for that, Dwayne. I really like the blue and the way that you've managed to get the sort of different tones in it. Then this is by Lee Brooker, and Lee has pretty much managed to finish the whole picture. And that, I think, is charcoal and coloured pencils. That's beautiful, Lee. Thank you. And then this one is Margaret's, and Margaret has focused in on what's almost like a modern ginger jar and picked up all of the picture on the front, which is beautiful. Just goes to show what you can manage to do over Zoom. And then finally, this one is Sophia, and Sophia's managed to get most of the image completed, and she's done that in felt tip. Thank you, Sophia. So all of those will be on our highlights and links page, and we'll just briefly look at what the art club's been doing on a Tuesday, where they've been continuing to work with salt dough. It's a make and natter session, so the idea is you can either bring any craft or wool project that you like along and just make it alongside other people, natter to them about it, maybe show them how to do it, get some feedback. Or you can take part in a craft activity using recycled materials and things you already have in your kitchen. So I'm just going to show you very briefly. This one, in fact, you could be working on ahead for Valentine's Day because it's painted pink, but it's a heart shape made out of salt dough. And I think following the instructions that you gave us earlier in the year, Tracy. So if you want to find Tracy's Join In From Home activities, and we've got another one coming up in a minute, go to the Join In From Home page on our website, go to the pull down menu, and you will find instructions for all sorts of activities you can join in from home with Tracy. But here's a very sweet little pink heart-shaped salt dough decoration with a purple bow around it, just ready to hang up somewhere. And here is Sophia's go, and Sophia has made some in red and green. She's also made some salt dough flowers. Those instructions are still there. And on the right-hand side, as a bonus, you can see that Sophia has been making the glittery star. That's one of our family activities using recycled materials that's part of our festival. So I'll come back to that in a little bit. But now it's time for the final join in with Tracy of 2021. So I'm going to pop the first image up in the stream, Tracy, and then you can tell us all about it.
So as for the final craft for this year, I decided to use our calendar. I did leave December up, but I thought I've used all the rest now, so that's what I'm going to do. So in front of us, we have what we need this week, which is a cereal box, a glue stick, some scissors, and if you're feeling brave enough, the calendar before you finished using it. The calendar is actually of cats, but not your cute little cuddly cats, your big wild cats. So basically, I ripped my calendar sheets up in, well, I cut them up into small pieces so that I could handle them better. And then what I did is make, so that you can see the sort of size, it's probably about 4 by 4 inches, and it's a concertina fold. So you fold one in and then you fold the other one over. Just two folds. It's quite easy to do. So here I am with my cereal box, and cut out a circle with a side plate, so that gives you the sort of idea of the size. It can be as big or as small as you want, depending on the size of the cardboard box that you've got. And then what I've done is cut out another circle in the middle, from the middle, so that you end up with like a big pom-pom stencil that you end up with a ring. Yeah. So there's my ring, and there's my pile of folded pieces of calendar. Hopefully I didn't need anything that was written on the calendar, but I can always take my art apart if I do. And then I just made my way round I've got some longer pieces and some shorter pieces, actually I should have said that. And simply just glued them around the edge of the circle. That's the first layer done. So it looks a bit like a sun sort of sun rays from here, doesn't it? But then I continued and went round the gaps that I've left with the shorter pieces. And there we have it. And then just to finish it off and tidy it up, I cut another circle out of the calendar, and with a much smaller hole to put over the 2 layers of paper, so that it finished it off nice. And then I made a little bow out of the things that were left and added that on. And in some ways, I've looked at that and thought that actually looks like a lion. It could look like a lion's mane with its eyes and its little mouth, but it's supposed to be a festive wreath. So, yeah, that was my completed wreath.
I'm glad you said it was supposed to be a festive wreath, because I thought, what a brilliant door decoration. And then you started talking, so I think, great, okay, I've got that one then. Yeah, I think it's great because it's also the kind of festive decoration you could do for a birthday or literally any occasion with any kind of coloured paper. Or yeah, I mean, I just think thank you so much, Tracy. You've spent all year kind of working so hard to research and develop and photograph and write the instructions. And each time I've just thought that's so clever, and I would never have thought of it. And it's so easy and it's so possible because it's always about stuff that we've already got at home, or indeed things that you can blag from the food bank, like the odd packet of plain flour or a little bit of foil. So yeah, thank you so much again. So go to our website, www.together2012.org.uk. The Join In From Home menu, have a look at Join In From Tracy. You certainly won't find any shortage of things to occupy you over the holidays. But now, Robin, fear not, it is time for the last Clockwork Paralympics of the year. We will not be boycotting the Winter Paralympics. We will be celebrating them as much as we can, because we are supporting, of course, Team GB, not the Paralympics. We are supporting the Paralympics. We're certainly not supporting any governments or any political movements, not least because that would be against our funding. So, who is competing to wear a medal this week?
Well, I've gone back to a much smaller treacle bear we're having this week, and I think it's only probably a sort of 15 centimeter high, but it's a really, really rich, plush, treacly feeling bear without the stickiness, if you can imagine. But it's just really festive and warm bear with a big red nose, just to go with the Christmas.
Called Rudolph.
He can be.
Day anyway. So we still have Anna the ballet bear, although she's beginning to think that she's dressed up for a performance of the Christmas Nutcracker show. Anna has been struggling for weeks for the right to wear a medal, because each time, although this is a game of chance, our toy loses. So we have the Clockwork Santas competing today, again along the bathroom floor. One of the things I find really irritating about the Clockwork Paralympics is I hoover the floor first, and then the first thing I can see as the toys come towards me are these little bits of dust that have still been left. But I can only apologise and say I don't think it interferes with their track, but their track does get swept just like the real thing. So if you want to join in from home, choose the Santa on the right or the Santa on the left to support before we start. And I'm going to then get Robin to do the commentary.
I will go for the left this week.
I dare say that's the one that will win then, for anybody who's wondering which side to adopt.
So here we are at our winter sports venue with two very sporty Santas, all dressed, primed and ready to go. And here they go. They are storming down the track. Looks like there's the Santa on the left is about to be interfered with by the Santa on the right. There might need to be judges' opinions on this one. Oh, but no, the Santa on the left, the Birmingham Santa, has forged through despite the heinous interference and gone on to create celebrations for the Birmingham 2020 team.
I was going to say, don't worry, Robin, you're coming back. It's just the Paralympics a go-go. So, as I said, there they go. Never mind, Anna, there's always January.
There we are. Just a little medal, revisited, recycled medal, as said last week. Congratulations, Birmingham. Well done, well chosen, Tracy.
Thank you.
We're not gloating.
No, of course not. Well, at least it's a good time to flag up that after the Paralympics in February, there are going to be the Birmingham Commonwealth Games 2022 over the summer. It's going to be a great year for parasport and therefore a bit of entertainment on the TV as well. Right, so now we're going to look to the holidays ahead. So a little bit of an extended version of our recommendations. But what I'm going to do as well is tell you about what's still available on our festival website, which is practically everything. All I will say for now is if you want to watch, we ask these questions of everyone. Here is Digital Opera. Today is the last day. So do check that out on the programme page of the website. There will still be afterwards the discussion and Q&A with the company up, but you're going to have to wait possibly quite some time to have a chance to see the opera again. But in the meantime, Robin, what's the first thing you're going to recommend?
Well, as we were just talking about Olympics and Paralympics, the first thing I'm going to talk about is something on the BBC News channel. It's a regular show, but it's called The Travel Show. But on Christmas Day, getting its first airing, I think 3 times, but even I'm not going to be up at 3:30 on Christmas Day. It is an episode of it with the former captain of the Great Britain wheelchair rugby team, and he's actually going back to Japan to look at what impact on travel for disabled travellers there has been as a result of the Paralympics. And I just thought it looked a fascinating watch.
I think that sounds absolutely fascinating. Before London 2012, we did some comparisons of cities around the world, and there are cities who've completely transformed their transport, like Vancouver and Barcelona. But then there are ones that haven't made any difference at all, like London. So more swiftly on, Julie, what's your first recommendation?
I did a little search and found the Radio Times website, and that is fantastic because I really like Earth People's television over the holiday. It's about the only time of year when it's consistently good. And so the Radio Times has got the listings for the BBC, the ITV.
So just give us one at a time because we're going to keep coming back to
we're
you.
coming back. Oh, right. Sorry, I thought I had to get everything in. BBC's got Call the Midwife, Wurzel Gummidge, and Doctor Who, which is the eve of the Garlics around New Year's. But Call Midwife is on the 25th of December, and Wurzel Gummidge is on the 28th.
And I think it's worth remembering that Call the Midwife, if you've not seen it, is set in East London. So actually has a lot about our history as well. Tracy, what's your first recommendation?
My first recommendation is another one that hopefully you'll watch. It's a Netflix series, so it's available whenever. And it's actually called School of Chocolate. No, excuse me. I know that there's a lot of these sort of cookery programs around, but they're all chefs, experienced chefs, patisserie chefs, and they're it is a competition, but nobody gets sent home. It's just a learning process as well as being a competition. And they're making the most extraordinary things out of chocolate. No wires, no scaffolding, no anything, just chocolate. So things that hang from the ceiling, things that open and close, like boxes and jewellery boxes, and it's just absolutely amazing. And of course, it makes you feel like you want a bit of chocolate while you're watching. So that's my first one.
And of course, this is the time of year when you can just actually, I just have to have some chocolate. Isn't that right, Julie?
I couldn't possibly say on air.
All I can say is that there are 2 chocolate advent calendars in this house. One of them still has today's waiting to be open, and one seems to be empty.
Your dogs have got great manual dexterity.
It's the cats.
Yeah, it must be the cats, because it's certainly not the dogs. So the first thing I'm going to recommend is an evening of festive poetry, prose and friends, which is Tuesday the 14th of December from 7:30 to 9:30. It's called Deck the Storms, because I think the storms are in the usual title. So it's a regular event. So if you're interested in finding new friendly poetry events, I think Christmas is a good time to check it out. So the host is Damien B. Donnelly, and it's a night of Christmas light and winter warmers with featured guests sharing poems and prose. And as with all my recommendations, there are details on Eventbrite with a booking link. So all of those will be in the highlights and links page. Robin, what would you like to recommend next?
Well, I'll go with 2 very quickly, because the first one, just to remind you, is a gig tonight at 7:00 from us. The next thing I've got is something called pulp non-fiction, and it's basically 2 artists who have done a lot of fundraising, filling in, and Ju and I know a lot about this, but they've decided to take their funding application histories, their paper-based histories, and recreate them in paper mache models. And I've not actually watched it yet, but I think just the whole idea, we've all got so much old paperwork, you never know what to do with. I now know what I'm going to do with it. Don't know what shape it'll be, but paper macheing, here I come. Oh, sorry, and that's on the 20th of December at 2:00. It is a Disability Arts Online event, and you book through there, and it's free.
It sounds absolutely unmissable. If you'd like to do some paper mache, then if you have a look, I think it's some of the craft activities in our highlights and links pages from previous times, because it's one of the things the Make a Natter Club have been doing over the autumn. The next thing I'm going to recommend is Reindeer Down Storytelling and Drawing, which is 3:30 to 4:30 on the 16th of December, which is a Thursday, and it's free and it's online. And it's basically the author and illustrator of an Irish children's book, which I haven't heard of before, called Reindeer Down. And you meet them. So you've got Natasha and Audrey are going to explain how they make a picture book. Natasha will read the story. Audrey will teach you how to draw Santa and Rory the reindeer, and all you need to have ready is some pencils and paper to join in, and it's completely free. It says 5+. I kind of feel like it's actually quite a fun activity for adults as well. I love picture books, and I think the idea of this Irish picture book, the event is taking place in Wales. So, but of course, it's all on Zoom, something that lots of us have discovered as an alternative way to socialise, but apparently some people have yet to catch up. What can we say? So, what's next from the West Midlands?
I've got another one, and it's called Hawkeye, which is like not a spin-off, but another mini series from the Marvel adventures. That is on the Disney Channel. So some people, if you've got the Disney Channel, fantastic, but it is a subscription channel. But yeah, it's just knowing the family background, we watch all the Marvel films. So now Joshua, our eldest, has managed to find all these little mini series which we've been watching. But this one in particular is particularly interesting to me because it's got some really positive role models in it, female role models, and a new character called Echo, who's actually a amputee who was born with no hearing. And it's really good, and I love the way they've incorporated it into the show. She plays a major role, and as soon as one of the characters is captured, and the first thing she does is release his hands because she spots he's wearing a hearing aid for him to be able to sign. So she starts signing to him, but he doesn't do sign. But I thought, wow, what a really good way of getting it in there without making it, blatantly obvious. So I think that's a really positive move for Disney and Marvel to introduce positive role model characters.
Yeah, absolutely. So back to the free stuff, which is obviously what all of us prefer. Julie, what do you recommend? What's your next TV recommendation? Just one program.
Next TV. Spitting Image is available on Earth People's Television on the 25th of December at 10 p.m. on ITV. Hooray! I love Spitting Image. I'm looking forward to that.
I should just explain that Earth People's TV is anything that isn't paid for, because it used to be how you distinguish satellite, but of course most satellite TV now comes via broadband. So sometimes it's good to explain, isn't it, Julie?
It's still terrestrial, isn't it?
Let's have that conversation later. In the meantime, what Julie means is you can get this on anything, which is great. And is it a Christmas special?
Yes, I'm really looking forward to it, especially given how exciting this week's been politically.
Yes, I can't help writing new sketches as we speak. So the next thing I'm going to recommend before I next talk, which will be coming back to the festival, is the University of Wolverhampton have started doing an annual Christmas lecture. This is its 5th one. So again, free online, 7 to 8:30, Thursday, the 16th of December. And this year's topic will be the song When Santa Got Stuck Up the Chimney. And they will take a humorous look at what might happen to poor old Santa Claus and the advice that the University of Wolverhampton experts might offer to help with his predicament. It sounds absolutely hilarious. Even if you can't make it, I recommend you go on to Eventbrite and see the full list of experts that will be advising Santa, because some of them seemed pretty left field to me. But yeah, I just think, there's always been these Royal Institution Christmas lectures and things, and I'm sure they're great, but I just find the idea of working out what to do when Santa's stuck up the chimney much, much, much more fun at this time of year. So what else, and preferably if we can prioritise your free recommendations, have you got to offer from the West Midlands?
Well, the next thing I've got, and I think I might have mentioned it a few weeks ago, but it's something called Carousel TV, which is on YouTube, and it's a new face of entertainment, proudly presenting learning disabled talent on screen and behind the scenes. And I think they must be doing maybe 6 episodes, because it's dated as running from the 4th of December to the 30th of January. And it just looks kind of really interesting. So episode 3 is now up. It comes out on Saturdays. But yes, it's staying online for that period of time. Yeah, and it looks kind of good. And this one's looking at behind the scenes of something called the Tide Mills Project, and featuring music from Zima Dukinski, and Matt Kennedy is doing some animation. And it just looks really good. And I mean, effectively, it is free. We just have to kind of I would just add that even if you're watching terrestrial telly on your phone, be careful, because you have to have a TV license as a minimum. Nothing's free anymore, just not additional costs.
Well, you do for the BBC. But let's not get diverted down there. But yes, if you want to watch your BBC iPlayer online, you do need a TV license, or I think probably by one of those awful BritBox subscriptions. I always think we paid for the programs that are on BritBox. I'm certainly not paying for those twice. But I think it's really interesting you recommend the Carousel Arts program, because last weekend was our Together 2021 Disability Film Festival, and indeed our 10th annual Disability Film Festival. And a whole bunch of the awards, we give CAT awards, were taken by filmmakers with learning difficulties. And actually, what we found was that in terms of the artists who've been connecting via Zoom, making Zoom movies, using new technology, green screening, all of the top talent were people with learning difficulties. Now, a whole bunch of those films are still online. The programs we showed were just 12 hours each day and different programs each day. But where there are YouTube versions available of these films, we put the links into the program now. That includes Tail Feather Dance, who had 2 films in the dance program and 1 in the drama program. They won the CAT Award for, let me try and get the title right, Best Use of Zoom and Digital Media. And then Blooming Arts Theatre Company, who spent 9 months producing an entire version of The Tempest over Zoom, won the CAT Award for the Best Drama. All of that work has got some beautiful, beautiful digital work on it. And they're not the only artists with learning difficulties by any manner or means who are featured starring in the film festival. So I think what's wonderful is for all of the people who have lost activities, the artists who've been able to move online and keep together have really, really been thriving. It was wonderful to see the work. It was just so enjoyable, as always, to spend an entire weekend watching films. But we have all sorts of other things still online too. So our 3 exhibitions are online. So we have Duncan Bridgestock, who's been entertaining us all year with his recycled card collages. And we have an exhibition of over 50 of them online called Because I Felt Like It. Then we have Vince Law's series of self-portraits, Painting Myself Happy. Vince has talked next to each picture about more details of the picture, that's in audio or in written English. And we have our 10th annual Together Open exhibition, which brings together work from anybody who's got a connection to the London Borough of Newham, where we're based, and identifies as being deaf, disabled, or having a long-term health condition. We've got 50 pictures in that show. All of them are very different. All of them are worth seeing. So that's 3 exhibitions that you can enjoy, and they're very simply programmed. You can just literally go to it on your phone and just keep scrolling down. Or indeed, if you're on a computer or a tablet, you can also click on the pictures. So you've got that, look it up, get really close up in a way that you couldn't in a gallery, perhaps really examine the pictures. So the exhibitions are up and they're great. The film festival still has lots of films to run. And then we have recordings of every single performance that's taken place. So no, you can't join in by live chat, although we would still love your feedback. So drop us a line to info@together2012.org.uk. But there's all of those performances to relive. And if I can, I'll come back and just list some of them in a moment. But Julie, tell us the rest of your holiday viewing recommendations first. Otherwise, it will be, you didn't let me finish.
I would never say that. I got very excited to see that the Scottish Ballet has got a Christmas special up on the 21st, the 22nd and the 23rd at 5:30. And it's a mix of past ballets with a range of characters, including clowns and snowflakes, which I think is going to be beautiful. I do like a Christmas ballet, and I think, this is just going to be so seasonal and lovely. Joe Lycett, who I find a little bit difficult, but still very funny at times, is presenting Mummy's Big Christmas Do, which is a celebration of LGBTQI plus celebrities and friends at 10:30 on the 22nd of December on Channel 4. Actually today there's a talk about cookery books between 5:30 and 6:20. So I'm going to try and skid that in. It's about the social history of cookery books, which I'd never ever thought about before, but sounds fascinating.
Thank you, Julie. So moving back to our festival, and then we'll come to you for some final tips. We also have 5 different family activities available on the website, which have always been put up for people to enjoy in their own time as part of the festival. Yesterday, we added our final activity, which is a retelling of a traditional story, The Tailor's Button, by storyteller Kate Portal, who's been a big favourite of ours in the past. She's not been part of the festival for some years, so we've been very, very pleased to see her back. She's introduced by Kate Rollison, our youth development worker, and Kate has created the 4 other family activities on the website. Again, everything can be done with recycled materials and things you already have at home. So you can make a paper snowflake with homemade glitter. Who knew? Environmentally sound. You can make a papier-mâché trinket tray if you'd like to make a gift. You can make a scrapbook from a cereal packet and paper. Lovely way to collect your memories, or again, another lovely gift. Or make a paper lantern. All of those activities have videos and photos and written instructions. So should be straightforward to follow. But as always, if you don't find something that we're doing accessible, let us know. Tell us how we can improve. We would always like to do that. So with the performances, looking back over the festival, we have a very special preview performance of excerpts from Sign Dance Collective's new forthcoming show, Oriente Plus. And the performers were in Austria and Croatia as well as East London. So that includes a performance and a Q&A. We have Having a Laugh with new women's comic poetry from Helena Ascoff, Cheryl McClelland and Wendy Young, introduced with humour from our very own Julie Newman. We have Postcode Stories, which is a series of 6 new films about life as a disabled person in East London, with a bit of a twist and some humour. And again, that includes a Q&A with the artists. If more seriously you're interested in how to make an event more inclusive, we have the recordings from our conference, Finding Solutions Together, Delivering Inclusive Festivals and Outdoor Events in the Age of COVID-19. And with the vaccine passes being introduced again from Monday, you might well want to have a look at that if you're running events. Then, as we say, we have Hearers Opera. We ask these questions of everybody based on a DWP PIP assessment interview. That will only be up until tomorrow. So
This is everything. Everything that will be alright. Know that in your mind, everything you find will have a perfect place to be, a liberty to love and love to, and know in your heart that everything is everything that will be alright. Only true love can deliver such an inner peace. If you found that sanctity, then swim in your serenity and show all the world that everything will be, yes, everything will be. let your love shine all over. Take a heart in your hands, let them know. You understand the whole world, and all men with your mind. Now go show everyone. Sing out loud, the light is gone. Take another breath and scream with all your might and make it see. Come on, that people out. Take a stance and fight for life. Fight, so to fight with everything. You'll be alright. We'll be alright. Now go, show everyone. Sing out loud till your voice is gone. Then take another breath and scream with all your might and make a scene. Don't fall the neutral out. Take a stance and fight for life. Fight, so to fight with everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. Will be alright. There's everything that will be alright. Have a great break, but don't forget to come back this evening for some more music.